This is the Savvy Investor radio show and podcast with Mike Kinnett and Ryan Herbert of ProStatus Financial, now celebrating 20 years helping families build successful retirements and lasting family legacies. Mike is a financial planner and estate planning attorney with a master's degree in tax and 4-time Amazon best-selling author. Ryan is a 5-star Wealth Management Award winner and top-ranked financial advisor by Forbes. Now, the Savvy Investor radio show and podcast.
So congratulations. You've done a great job of saving for retirement. You look at your 401k, your IRA, whatever the retirement account may be, and you're thinking, yeah, I'm doing great. But that may backfire on you, depending on when you have to go take out that RMD, that required minimum distribution. And Mike, you talk about it being a tax time bomb. Couple of things there that I want to get into with you guys. But the number one thing that I learned through working with you is that when you hit that RMD age, whether it's 72, 73, or 75, depending on your age, you have to take that money out, whether you want to or not. What's the reaction to people that don't know that didn't know that when they were saving for retirement, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, you're going to have to take this money out, and oh, by the way, through no fault of your own, you're going to have to pay a lot of taxes on this.
How come nobody told me? That's pretty much the answer. When Mike and myself and Lawrence and our team, when we're sitting down with prospective clients that are coming in, because, when we talk about this a lot with our current clients on what we're doing to fix it, but we sit down and we're talking about, the normal things you'll discuss in a financial plan. You'll talk about income, you'll talk about investments. And then what makes us different is we're going to talk about long-term care, estate planning, life insurance from a tax planning aspect. But then we talk about taxes. That's kind of the thing that I like to focus on last, because that really does become the biggest part of the conversation. And what we're showing people is, here's where you are right now at whatever age you are. And here's how much money you're going to pay in taxes from now all the way out until the day you die, 90, 95, whatever the date is you want it to be, but 95. And then we show you, if we have proper tax planning where we use vehicles like Roth IRAs through Roth conversions, or we use life insurance for tax planning purposes, here is the same time frame from however old you are now to when we kill you off at 95. And here's the taxes you're going to pay over your lifetime. We're sitting down and we're showing them the difference. You're going to save $500,000, $600,000, $1.2 million, whatever the number is. And they always want to know, why is the difference so incredibly large? And then I will dive into the numbers. Mike will dive into the numbers and show you, all right, here's your taxes now. And then look right here at age 73 for most people. Most people that we're seeing right now, the RMD age is going to be 73. All of a sudden, your income is jumping by $100,000. And like, well, how's that possible? Where's my $100,000 raise coming from? They get kind of excited. And then that's when we say, well, that's the amount of money the government says every single year you have to take that money out of your IRA, your 401k, your 403b, your pre-tax retirement plan, and pay tax on it. That way they can get their money, because they've let you have that money in there for years and years and years and grow the money. Now they want their share.
And you have to take out regardless if you need it or not. And from your perspective, what you're talking about, the tax implications. Imagine if you are in a position where you're good stewards with your money and your Social Security covers your income needs. Well, Social Security is tax-free if you do it correctly, right? So imagine being in that position where you have $70,000, $80,000 worth of Social Security, and all of a sudden you have to take out $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000, whatever the number is from an IRA. You're forced to take it out. Now, all of a sudden, 85% of your Social Security is taxable. It's insane that nobody talks about this ahead of time. I mean, the woulda, coulda, shoulda. If people knew at 25 what this is going to look like, they probably would have taken a different approach.
And every year that RMD amount goes up every year, because the calculation changes. And people look at the numbers and say, well, look, from age 65 to 72, I'm only paying like 3% taxes. And it's just like what Mike says, because they're reliant upon just their Social Security. As soon as we drop that RMD on, they go from paying 3% taxes to 25% taxes overnight in 1 year. And nobody ever tells them about it. Their financial advisors don't ever tell them about it, because the whole goal of most financial advisors is just to, one, accumulate assets for them to manage, and then grow your money as much as they can, because the more money that they have under management, the higher the fee is that they get to collect. So their whole incentive is to just grow that money as much as possible and keep as much money there. And they never have these tax conversations. And if you're sitting down and thinking, my advisor has never said this to me, my advisor has never mentioned taxes, or whenever I bring up the topic of taxes, they say, well, yeah, it's probably a good idea to think about Roth conversions, but go talk to my tax guy or go talk to your CPA or whomever. You can just click the link in the video description below to set up a time with Mike, myself, and our team here at ProStatus. And don't forget to like and subscribe as well.
You know, it's interesting. I was just sitting down with some clients the other day, and we did that analysis that Ryan was talking about, and we showed them the difference, right? So during their lifetime, we calculated if they chose to do nothing, they were going to pay about $1.2 million in taxes over their lifetime. And if we were a little bit more tax efficient, we thought they were going to pay about $900,000 in taxes. And, you know, when he looked at it, he said, well, that's only a couple $100,000. It was about $280,000 difference. And I'm not sure that juice is worth the squeeze at this point. That was kind of his opinion. And then we showed him what happens when the kids inherit the money. And we think the kids are going to be able to save probably close to $1 million in taxes if we do this correctly, right? And then what was really shocking to them, the difference of the amount of money that was left over by being tax efficient, being not tax efficient. And this is where it kind of hones in on the real problem. Being non-tax efficient, the kids were going to inherit roughly $4 million, give or take a little bit.
By doing nothing.
By doing nothing, right. By not being tax efficient, doing nothing, about $4 million, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's nothing to poo-poo at. But here's the deal. If they were tax efficient, the kids inherit $5.8 million.
Wow.
Think about that. It's almost $2 million, $3 million. It's almost $2 million more money just because you chose to be tax efficient. And you know, again, you know, we were talking about politics and ups and downs of the markets. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are in life. You are always a better steward of your money than giving it to Uncle Sam. Across the board, those guys do not make sound choices with our money. And we can agree to disagree about what they should be doing. But at the end of the day, you are absolutely insane if you think it's a good idea to give Uncle Sam, you know, $1.8 million of your money just because you don't want to do some tax planning today. Or worse yet, find yourself in that position. Your kids look at what happens when you pass away, and they're like, what the heck? What the heck? How come your advisor never told you about this? How come your CPA never told you that this was going to be the outcome? If you want a different outcome, if you want to see what these taxes are actually going to do to you during your lifetime and the impact it's going to have on your children, sit down with Ryan, myself, and our team. We will show you how to create income streams that you will never outlive. We're going to show you how much risk you're taking. We're going to talk about fees. We're going to talk about long-term care, estate planning, all those things that you should be focusing on, but also taxes, because taxes have such a huge impact. I mean, it absolutely drives me insane. I know I said it a billion times. It absolutely drives me insane that these guys are out there making financial recommendations and have no clue about the tax implications of that very recommendation they just made. Just click on the link below and you can set up a 15-minute appointment with Ryan, myself, and our team. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And you can always go online to thesavvyinvestorradio.com. Again, that's thesavvyinvestorradio.com. Again, for a quick 15-minute phone conversation to get your retirement plan started. You can do that today here on the Savvy Investor Radio Show and podcast and YouTube. So guys, as we're wrapping this up, though, I guess a great way for our listeners and viewers to think about this is not only tax savings for them, but also for their kids, multi-generational. And by the way, Mike and Ryan, you guys have been talking about this for a long time. There is a window that's closing on us very soon to take advantage of these Roth conversions, if it makes sense for your situation. Talk to us quickly about that and that window and what's the sense of urgency where we should act right now.
Well, the sense of urgency is that in 2026, there's a sunset provision. And you know, in theory, if Trump wins and he wins both houses of Congress, they'll probably extend out the tax cuts. But if he wins and doesn't take both houses, those tax cuts are going to sunset. And it's not that you have to get it all done in the next 2 years, because it's probably going to be too expensive. But we have the lowest tax rates most of us have ever seen. So we want to take advantage of those lower tax rates while we can, because we can do more at lower tax rates than we're going to be able to do after 2026. But clearly, our clients are going to be doing tax planning, you know, for the next 5 and 10 years of their lives as they're coming in the door now. So that's the sense of urgency. We want to get it done as quickly as possible because of lower tax rates. But the second piece of that puzzle is that, you know, people that have $2-3 million, they don't really look at themselves and think I'm rich. Because wealthy and rich it's a different notion nowadays, right? I mean, Donald Trump is rich. Donald Trump is wealthy. Those people, Buffett. But, when you have $2 or $3 million, here's the deal. Believe it or not, more likely than not, you are going to have an estate tax problem when you pass away after 2026. So think about losing 30 to 40% of your estate to taxes because you didn't sit down with somebody like Ryan and myself today, because you can lock in the tax savings today that you won't be able to do in 2026. So that's that sense of urgency that we really have, Michael.
And then think about what your kids are going to say when they have to take another tax hit off of that money. So there's definitely a lot to think about.
And Michael, the reality is nobody saved this money. I've never had a client, Ryan, I don't think you've ever had a client that walks in the door and says, hey, I've accumulated all this nest egg. I have all this money and I did it just for my kids. That's never the conversation we have. Everybody's always saved this money for themselves, but more likely than not, you're going to have money left over. And that money that's left over, you want it as tax efficient for you, but you also want it as tax efficient for them because they're going to be inheriting that money probably during their peak earning years. And it's just going to be a double kick in the face. Not only are they losing their parent, and even though we know our parents are going to die, it's not an easy thing to watch that happen. And then they're going to get this, insult to injury by they inherit this money and they're losing it to taxes because nobody sat down with mom and dad and showed them how to be tax efficient through their lifetime and make sure those legacies are as tax efficient as possible as well.
And I think most importantly, no one ever sat down and showed them, if you don't do anything, if you just keep doing what you're doing and the plan that you're on, here are your tax implications, which you don't want to pay any taxes more than you have. But here's what the kids are going to pay. That's really what the difference is between Mike and myself and our team here at ProStatus and how we do things for our clients and what we do for our clients and what you get from most of the other financial advisors out there. There are some that are starting to do it that Mike and I are seeing tax money becoming part of it. But a lot of times you ask them questions about taxes. They either can't say anything about taxes. Well, that's not my area. I can't talk to you about that. Or, go talk to your CPA or go talk to my tax guy on the other side of town.
And I want you to recognize what Ryan just said. You have a choice. How you participate in the tax world is really an option, right? You can choose to participate in a way where you're paying the most taxes possible, or you can choose to participate in a way that you pay the least amount of taxes possible. And you know what the least amount of taxes possible is? Zero. And that's what we strive for each and every one of our clients that walk through this door, the 0% tax bracket. So from our perspective, stop opting into that stupid gerbil wheel and paying taxes for people who are not spending your money wisely. Give it to the kids. Use it yourself. Heck, give it to Ryan and me to spend. Anybody's better at spending your money than Uncle Sam.
So right now, just click the link in the video description below to schedule a quick complimentary personalized review from ProStatus and get that complete retirement plan started. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're getting some great information because Mike and Ryan, they sure do a great job of not only with their clients, but also informing us as well. And we look forward to this each and every time we join the Savvy Investor radio show, podcast, or YouTube. But as always, got to wrap things up now. Mike, Ryan, thank you guys so much. You guys get the final word.
This is Ryan Herbert. Thank you so much for listening to the Savvy Investor radio show and podcast.
And this is Mike Kinnett. We'll see you, the Savvy Investor, next week.
Advisory services offered through ProStatus Financial Advisors Group, a registered investment advisor. Insurance licensed in Maryland. ProStatus Financial Advisors Group, LLC is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if ProStatus Financial Advisors Group is licensed in your state, please call 410-863-1040. ProStatus Group, LLC is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through representatives of ProStatus Financial Advisors Group.